welcome to today's episode of How to Get Married and Stay Married. I'm actually excited about today's topic, and I will tell you why. First of all, the topic that we are treating is, darling, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? How blame sabotages marriages. That's what we're going to be looking at today. And I was thinking about it, like, remember Adam when when the Lord came and approached him and asked, have you eaten, did you eat what the fruit that I told you not to? And Adam goes, it's the woman that you put in the garden, it's the woman you put with me. And then the woman then says, oh no, it's the serpent. So everybody is busy blaming somebody else. Just look at it and imagine if the story went this way and Adam said something like, Lord, I'm really sorry. Please forgive me for not taking responsibility and for eating the fruit that you commanded. Just imagine, let's just imagine a bit. That would have been a whole different story, but no, what we have is a blame game. Right. So today we're going to look at that. So second reason why I'm excited, it's because of the person I've got in house with me, my guest today. It's always nice when we have guests. But this guest is pretty special. It's so special that his name comes twice. So he's called Chindah, and then there's another Chindah. Chindah, Chindah, Chindah square, Chindah double, double Chindah. So today's guest is Chindah Chindah. You're welcome, Chindah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And Chindah is a multi-talented gentleman, actually. He's a transformational, award-winning, transformational speaker. And he's got a huge passion for life and marriage coaching. He's also a best-selling author. He's an entrepreneur. He's a preacher. He's a senior IT consultant, and he's passionate about young people. He's also a super mentor to young people. And so that's who we have here, who's going to be dealing with this topic for us. So, Chindah, we're
Mhm.
just talking before we started recording, and I'm like, this blame thing, we said it's something
Mhm.
that is very relatable. So why does blame pose a challenge to relationships? Even just relationships generally. And you would know that you come from a huge family.
Mhm.
Chinda has 35 siblings. 35 siblings, people, you know. So it's a huge family. So why do
You
you
know,
think that blame poses a challenge in relationships?
there is a lot that blame does to relationships.
Mm,
And being a marriage coach myself, and also someone that have engaged with a lot of couples from different background, different faith, different races,
mhm.
I can say that blame is very instinctive.
Mm,
We are all guilty of blame in one way or the other, because blame is a natural defense.
mm,
Blame is like a shield. So people that have fragile emotional mastery or intelligent, they use blame as their own weapon,
mm,
as their own security. Okay. Because blame springs from a place of defense, from a place of trying to protect your territory. You're trying
mm-hmm,
to protect your domain. And also, blame gives you this empowerment that you're in control, that you're in charge, that you are an authority. And it also gives you this feeling or this pleasure that you are perfect. It gives you this excitement that there is nothing wrong with you.
mm. Yeah, yeah.
So the more you feel it, it's almost like it's like someone that is smoking. You are addicted to the nicotine. So if from your childhood and the environment you grew up with and everything you've been doing in your life, blame is part of your powerful way of expressing yourself, of defending yourself, of shielding yourself. It becomes an addiction. It
Mm.
becomes a part of you. So it's no longer something that happened momentarily. It's something that is happening as normal because you see it now as the only way for you to really express yourself and be yourself.
Mm.
So you use that as a weapon. So people carry that into marriage as well. And
Mm.
then in their marriage now, they continue to enjoy the pleasure, the nicotine of blame.
Mm.
So blame has a powerful effect in marriage. It will make it healthy, it will make it strong, it will make it open, transparent, it will make it very peaceful. And again, it will not encourage equity, it will not encourage fairness, right? So one person is going to be very autocratic,
Mm.
very domineering, very empowering because it gives you that strength to do that. And then the other person will feel like a weakling, will feel like a withdrawer, will feel like running away. And then with time, the other blamee, we have blamer and blamee.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
blame and blame
So,
me indeed.
yeah, so the blamee will begin to lose self-esteem,
Mm.
self-worth, and at the end of the day, they start having this feeling of worthlessness, hopelessness, not good enough. And then there's an increase of self-pity as well. There's an
Mm.
increase of self-sabotaging as well. It goes into a lot of emotional abuse.
Mm.
There's a lot of pain that happens. So when somebody is in that state, you don't expect that relationship to thrive. You don't expect it
Mm.
to flourish because you can see that you are not in equilibrium, right? You are up and the other person is down, and you just want to remain like that. The one that is down continue to be down, and you that is up, there is no balance. And at the end of the day, there's resentment, there is malice, there is building of all this pain, and I've just mentioned a couple of things now which
Yes.
will really really destroy the relationship. So blame is a very big issue, it's a very big problem.
Mm.
You mentioned something in the Garden of Eden. I've always said that over and over again. Blame is natural and it's instinctive, and it's something that everybody has fallen victim in one way or the other. If
Yes.
you don't
So.
have money in your house, you blame the government for not giving you job, right? If you are trying to
Mm.
drive and there was a pothole on your road, it affect your tire, you blame the people that did the road. Yeah. So we blame all the time. We
Mm.
blame all the time, even though you have been in a company, they have not given you position. You start blaming your immediate boss, you start blaming other people. So there is this blame, it's happening subtly, right? It's
Yes.
there. That is why I say it's an instinctive thing, it's a natural thing. So just because we don't, some people feel that okay, their own is not very pronounced in their marriage, but they blame at work, they blame everywhere, they blame the kids, they blame the family, they blame their father, mother, brother, sister, uncle, they blame, even people blame rain, people blame the sun, people blame the weather, people even blame when breeze blow in the particular
Mm-hmm.
way, and they feel that the team blow their clothes off from where they put it outside, and they say this kind of wind, I just don't like this wind causing problem all the time. There is always blame happening all the time. When it becomes chronic and a way of life in marriage, it destroys everything. Because at the end of the day, God came to Adam, right? He
Yes.
said, hey, what have you done? And he said, the woman, what have you done? And he said, the devil. And the devil just remained there. you know,
Nobody to blame.
so absolutely. So at the end of the day, it's almost like the devil now took responsibility that Adam should have taken, or Eve should have taken.
Mm.
The devil now say, okay, I can't really blame God at the moment. Okay, you know what? Okay, whatever you want to do to me, just do to me.
Just cucumber.
I accept Adam blame. I accept Eve blame. All the blame upon my life, please give it to me,
Mm.
God. I'm
Mm.
ready to face
Mm.
the
Mm.
consequences. So ideally, in that three scenario, is the last person that actually kind of try to solve the problem.
Mm. Hey.
Yeah. The devil was the one that somehow tried to, even because he couldn't even say anything. He just, okay, I'm going to say, you don't have anyone to blame instinctively. All right, then. Okay, no problem. I'm going to banish you.
Time
I'm
for
going
the
to do this.
punishment. Hmm.
Absolutely. So, blame is instinctive because it didn't start today. Our first parent in the world, there was some element of blame in their marriage, and
Mm,
we came through there. So as a result of the change that took place in the Garden of Eden, the Bible says by one man sin entered into the world. So that is part of the package of coming out of the Garden of Eden. And every man, every woman went through that lineage today, which when I see people blame, I don't really find it strange, because
mm,
that was the genesis of it. The only thing now we want to do is, how do we mitigate? How do we deal with the issue? Because
hmm,
sorry, the first parent in the world or the first family in the world, they also had their share of
hmm.
blame. So the key thing, how do we move from what happened to the first family to how we can start looking for way
Yeah.
to move forward from our relationship? Because blame is here. It's not far away. It is here.
Hmm. Thank you so much. Wow, wow, wow. In fact, you've answered so many questions. Like, why do we blame? Is all inclusive in everything that you have said. And before we start going into breaking that
Mhm,
cycle, I was
mhm,
just um, I was just thinking about it.
mhm,
The what you mentioned means
mhm,
that one has to be intentional in avoiding
mhm,
blame. But really, somebody must take responsibility. So is there
mhm.
any time when it's actually okay to just blame your spouse? Is there any time when blaming is okay?
Okay. Now, blame simply means attributing a fault
Mm-hmm.
or something has gone wrong to someone. Okay. So let me come from the place of you want to come to God, right?
Yeah.
And God said that you have sinned, you're a sinner. That's what he said. Now, are you going to say to God, say, God, what are you talking like that? I wasn't a sinner now. What are you talking like
Mm-hmm.
that now?
Mm-hmm.
God, I know Jesus
Mm-hmm.
died, but it's for other people now. It's not me now. What are you
Mm,
thinking about? See, you already trying to avoid a process that is going to give you even more eternal peace by
mm,
arguing that you are not a sinner. No, you are. It's very clear, black and white. So look at it. Jesus came to the world. He said he didn't come for the righteous. He came to save the sinner. But
mm-hmm.
look at the way he did it.
Mm,
Every one of us, we are guilty, guilty to be executed, to be banished to hell. So the way he came in love, very critical. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. Now, Christ did not come and start walking through the street of Bethlehem, the street of Jericho, the street of Galilee, the street of Jerusalem, and screaming and shouting at everybody, you're going to go to hell. You blame. I came to save you guys, but look at all of you here. Look at the way you are. I start all over the place. Uh-uh. Everybody will say, if you actually came to save us the way you are acting, we better go to hell now, isn't it? Because I
mm,
don't think you came to
mm,
actually save us.
mm, mm,
Look, he knew that we are guilty already. He knew that
mm,
we are responsible for our sins. But look at the approach. This is why
mm,
it's important. It's not about what has happened. It's about the approach.
mm,
It's about how are you doing this? Okay. Think about this, right? In Matthew chapter 3, Jesus says something. He said, why do you look at the speck in your brother's eyes
mm,
and you avoid the log? Ah, log is a massive log of wood. Speck is so tiny. So you know what Jesus is trying to say? As you are pointing finger, be careful. Because you carry inadequacies, you carry flaws,
Mm.
you carry shortcomings, you carry your own issues that I'm still working in your life. You're a work in progress.
Hmm.
So now that you are trying to do like this, hey, be careful, because if I withdraw the little help I'm giving you, you'll be rotting, you'll be
Hmm.
finished. People will see you and they will look at you as a scorn, because your behavior
Hmm.
will be completely despicable.
Hmm.
So he said, while you are looking at someone's spec, please understand where you are coming from. Please understand who you are. Please understand that you are not complete. You are not perfect. You are a process. You are work in progress.
Hmm.
So when you come from that place, the way you are going to respond to your spouse, I normally say, never use the word you, or this phrase, you never.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. Don't do that. What are you talking about? You are supposed to address the issue on ground. Now you are bring attributed sibling issues. You have brought issues from 1945,
Hmm.
1988, 2001. You've gathered them together. That's why you say you never. You never means there are
Hmm. That
multiples
accumulated.
accumulated. And sometimes when you say you never, those things have already been resolved, but you have gone to resurrect them from the burial ground. You went to wake them up, say, why are you still sleeping? Let's add it so that we'll do what? You can have more power. I told
Hmm.
you, blame is like drug. It gives you power. It gives you
Control.
control. It gives
Hmm.
you authority. So by the time you associate other past problems and issues and conflicts to this particular one, you can now see that you have just created a giant issue, created a Goliath that you can really present and say, this is the problem here. But that thing was just
Hmm.
a tiny thing. So in doing that, you're empowering, you're seeing yourself as the mini God. You're seeing yourself as
Hmm.
the one in control now. And the other person like a puppet, like a weakling, like a tiny little thing. And in that process, it's not going to help anything. So you using the word you never. Mm-mm. If you say something has gone wrong, if you're emotionally intelligent, if
Hmm.
you're emotionally strong, if you're emotionally aware, the Bible calls it self-control. If your ability to fully know your own emotions and how you work with your own emotions, you are in tune with yourself, then you can intelligently regulate it. Because
Hmm.
you know that the person that you are about to tell them their blame also have emotions, and they may not be entirely strong emotionally like you. Some people have very fragile emotions. They've not been able to develop that aspect of them. That's why you can, the way you respond or you say to things to them, instead of even making them realize and finding a way to solve the issue, you escalate, you excavate,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
fuel. And something that's supposed to last for 30 minutes is now 5 days, 7 days. Why? Because you didn't do like Jesus. Your approach was not from a place of love. It was
Hmm.
not from a place of compassion and empathy. It wasn't a place of you seeing that this person also have challenges. The way you speak is very, very important. Let's say, for instance, the
Hmm.
kids are not doing very well at home, and you're always blaming the other spouse. Why they are not doing very well? Because they always write to you via email. They don't do their homework. And now you say, you call your wife or your husband. Why is it that the children are not doing very well? What are you doing at home? Why can't you just focus on what I gave you one simple assignment to
Hmm.
just make sure these children hold on, but that woman is cooking, but that woman goes out, but that woman is working, but that woman is if you
Hmm.
list out everything, you your own go to work, come back, sleep, eat, and you don't even do much, but you're already blaming her. So how are you gonna say that thing to her? You say, honey, today has been really amazing. I just love this meal that you have cooked. Really amazing. I just realized that we keep forgetting to ask the children about
Mm.
about their homework. Since we keep doing this, they sent me email that we are not following up very well. So I just want to put this timetable together so that both of us can see how we can work together to help them. So every 8 o'clock, I have put a timer on my phone so that it will ring to remind me that we need to do this. I think that will really help. Honey, exactly. They send me the email, so I didn't even know how to approach it because I've been so tired. Every day I'm so tired. When I'm
Mm.
so tired, I can't even know how to handle this thing. But that was very good of you to, point that out so that we can see how to support the children. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. In fact, you know what? Since I put this thing now, I think I should just be taking charge of the assignment because that period, I think you most of the time we are cooking and all that. Let me focus on the assignment for now. But always try to remind me in case I forget. But since I put, oh my goodness,
Such a
oh my
difference.
goodness, oh
Such a
my
difference.
goodness, look at that.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That is amazing. Look,
You
as
know,
I,
oh,
as I was sharing that, even myself, I'm happy for the marriage.
even me, even me. So I was like, oh yeah, who wouldn't cooperate with that?
You see, that is exactly what I am saying.
Mm.
The way you respond is more vital than what you say.
Hmm.
Your approach and response is more powerful than what you say.
I was looking at a quote earlier by
Mhm.
Oscar Wilde,
Okay.
an Irish poet, and he says, and I quote, "It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you place the blame. It's not whether you win or you lose, but it's how you place the blame." And that's just, you know, the way that's illustration you just did now. It's a
Mm.
we, it's a let's do this together.
That's
It's
right.
just, it's pulling everyone in. So in a sense, nobody is getting the blame, but everyone is getting involved. There's a call to
Mhm.
action. Let's do this.
Mhm. Mhm.
And you're so right, because when we think about how the Lord actually communicates with Lord, I mean, God is so powerful, he can force all of us to be Christians.
Mhm.
Yet we are not all robotic. Yes, Lord, here we are. So why is it that we as humans then want to control people by putting blame on them when even God, who has the power to do that,
Mhm.
actually does not? I'm actually learning a lot this
Okay.
evening. So in my head, so I'm
Okay.
like doing a reset, doing a reset. So it's not a case, whose fault is it? We don't want to be pointing at the next person. We
That's
want to be
right.
taking
Yeah.
responsibility for
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
ours. So tell me,
Mm.
when you have a couple, who are now in a rut because they have spent so much time blaming each other,
Mm.
how can they break this blame cycle? You've given an illustration, but how
Mm.
can we even help further? And then even for single people who they've not even started, they're not married yet, but they're in a
Mm.
relationship, how they can they avoid the blame pit so that they can
You know,
stay married in future?
absolutely,
It's about the
absolutely.
staying married.
Mm. Absolutely. You know, like you said, a lot of people they're caught up in this vicious circle of blame. We say we have the blamer and the blamee. Okay.
Blaming.
Yeah. So, and one of the things is both people are hurting. Both people are hurting because the blamer feels he's trying to protect, he's trying to be powerful, strong, and then he's trying to ensure that his or her wall or shield is kept intact.
Mm,
And by doing that, there's something that is missing in the blamer's life.
mm,
There is this connection with the spouse. There is lack of vulnerability with the
mm,
spouse. There is lack of mutual pleasure happening with that individual. And then the other person, you see anger, you see stonewalling, you see withdrawal, you see malice, you see resentment, you see this cave life, doesn't want to get involved, doesn't want to be with this person at all. And then with time, the other person will be feeling more isolated from you.
Mm.
That's what we call drifting apart. The drifting apart will begin to come into the marriage and in the relationship. So there won't be effective communication, there won't be openness,
Mm.
there won't be transparency, there won't be love, there won't be just this feeling of satisfaction. Then the blamee will be going to this point of believing a lie that
Mm.
I'm not good enough. That's such a terrible place to be. I'm not good
Yeah.
enough. And that's self-sabotaging. I'm not good enough. I'm always being blamed for this, blamed for that, blamed for that. So, and with that, you will realize that they will begin to feel so worthless, so useless, self-esteem down, no confidence in anything again. They don't, self-pity has taken over, self-blame has taken over, and they lose their internal core of being powerful, being real, being themselves. And you can't have somebody in that relationship like that and you expect the blamer to enjoy it. No, it's already rotten. And I want to say here, for those listening that's going to watch or whatever, I want to say, you listening to me, I believe that you might have some element of all these things in your relationship. Okay. Some of you might be okay. Some of you might still be in that place of constantly being blamed. Now, from my place of work, from my coaching room and my experience, this might vary, but for some reason, the women are more blamed in the relationship for some reason. I'm so sorry to say that, but it is the truth. Okay. The guys are always shifting the whole blame of the entire thing in the marriage for the woman, right? And I always trace that back to Adam.
It's like, come on, guys, find another mentor.
So I'm so sorry, guys. Adam has not been a very good mentor to us.
I'm telling you.
The
I'm
guy has
telling
not
you.
been entirely good guy to us. So that Adamic nature, yeah,
Mm.
has always been there in inside men. And a lot of men blame. I'm not saying women don't blame their husband, but I'm talking about the statistics. So both side blame are always happening. But from my place, I've coached black, white, Indian, Chinese, I've coached different cultures. I can tell you that this thing called male, there's something, they have some association with Adam, right from the beginning. And they
Mm.
always blame their wives for marriage not working, not having good sex, not doing this. There's lists, like catalogs of list of items.
Mm.
I remember one of the guy, an issue that I was dealing with, and the guy said, "Oh, since I married this woman, my life has been destroyed. She's the problem in my life, everything, and all that, and all that, and all that." And he said, he has tried to be God and Jesus to this woman, but she's just like Eve. She's just like Eve. And he was talking and talking. I said, okay, all right, okay.
God and Jesus.
Guess what? I now had a time with him. I was able to discover 32 things wrong in his life.
32.
And I told him, bro, it's just a little bit. I would have called you devil.
Hmm. This
Because
is this
according,
is the spec and log you were talking
yes,
about.
that exactly. And I now say, you have 32. You told me before, there's nothing is wrong with you. This woman is the problem. By the time I start digging deep, 32 things wrong in his life. I say, look, this woman married somebody that is even less than Adam. Adam had one blame. Your own is 32 issues that we have
Wow.
discovered. So you are very related to the devil. I'm really sorry about that, but we can sort it out. Okay. And he was shocked.
Mm.
That he didn't know about all these things. I say, the person that blame never know anything about themselves.
Yeah,
No, they never. Because you
it's
know
true. It's
why?
so true.
The reason why I brought that story is because the first thing to break the circle of blame in a relationship, please, wives, husbands, make sure that each person watch this or listen to this. Take responsibility first. What do I mean by that? Before somebody even point finger, before somebody say anything, before anything happen, you need to start working on you.
Mm.
You. Start working on you. Be accountable, be responsible. You are obliged to accept your actions and the consequences of your actions. If you don't do A, B might happen. That's a law, right? Cause and
Mm-hmm.
effect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you say this, another thing might come up because of what you say. So it's always happening. The question is, how do you say it? How do you act it? Are you taking responsibility of how you say that thing? Are you
Mm.
taking responsibility of how you acted that thing you are trying to do? So it's not about you always saying, that's the problem, that's the problem, that's the problem, he's
Mm.
the problem, she's the problem. Ask yourself, even trying to solve the problem, how are you solving it?
Hmm.
So, first, start working on you. You. You see, I always talk about personal development. Work on you first. Do you know
Mm.
you? Do you understand how you act, how you react? Do you understand some of those weaknesses in your life? Because a lot of times, Satan uses our weaknesses in marriage to destroy everything.
Mm.
So, how are your weaknesses affecting your marriage, your husband, your wife? Take responsibility of you and start working on you. So, what I'm trying to say is that go and look at the logs first. That's what Jesus said.
I like that. The logs, oh,
The
log.
logs, yeah, absolutely. I didn't say log, not one. I said, look at the logs.
The logs.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
logs inside you first. Because by the time you start working on your logs, you'll be so amazed that the speck you're looking at is nothing.
Mm.
It's nothing. So that's you become, you tremble, you fear in the place of God. They say, I've got logs. This one is speck. I think
Hmm.
speck is better because of your perception, because of the way you view things. The speck you're looking at, you're thinking that that is the problem, that is the issue. But no, it's from you. Your responses is from your heart, it's from
Mm-hmm.
the way you have built yourself over the years. So start working on you. Now, that's the blamer. Even the blamee, at the end of the day, you need to filter things,
Hmm.
right? It's very difficult sometimes to filter things at the heat of the moment when things are very intense and all that.
I
But
know.
you also need to start working on your own emotions, right? When someone said to you, oh, this, you ask yourself a question. Hold on. Did I actually do this? Did I say this? Did I act like this? Try to do what is self-reflection over what has been said to you. As long as you can see clearly there that, oh, this person does not understand the full story, does not understand where I'm coming from, because at the end of the day, both of you are different, you are unique, and the way you see things come from different lenses, so you may not see things the same way. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, a blamer in marriage has very, very undeveloped emotions.
Hmm.
Very, very undeveloped. I don't care if he has
Wow.
PhD. I don't care if he's the president. I
Wow.
don't care if he's billionaire. I don't care if he's rich. Just know that anybody that is blaming always in marriage, emotional level is like it's very little. It's so low.
In fact, this is it. Finish breaking the table and turned it into firewood.
So don't be carried away. He's driving the latest 4x4. He's driving a Range Rover. He's got millions of naira or millions of pounds. Mm-mm. When the emotional level is low, they won't know who to attribute the issues to. So they won't come to themselves. They will be looking for, who do I share this with? Che, I know I'm so rotten. I know I'm so bad, but I can't just
Mm.
take this by myself. I need to shift you somewhere. So when somebody shift that onto you, you ask yourself, is that me? Did I do that? Did I not do that? So don't respond, and don't let whatever they are saying becomes a problem to you, because when somebody is blaming, many times they want to prove they are right. Many times they want to prove they are, they are the authority. They want to prove they are in control. Many times it's because of vengeance, right? They are
Mm.
just vengeful. They want to make you feel bad. Sometimes they do it to rob
Mm.
you of your happiness. They want to rob you of your own personal happiness. They want to rob you of your own enjoyment. When they see you happy, they are angry. They are looking for it. It's because they are not eternally matured. They are not, they are not, they are not,
Mm.
they are not emotionally mature. So any small thing they see, the wife is excited, the husband is, why can't I just create something? Why can't I just say something? So they
That
become
is just wrong.
very wrong, very, very wrong. And what they do, they just want to impose their insecurities, their low emotional state, the things they are not able to deal with, they want to pour it upon you. So when they come like that, see, you,
Mm.
that is the blamee, listen, just filter what they're saying. Don't respond. Just filter. It's okay. Is that okay? That's fine. Even they will be shocked. Ha! Because when you react negatively, it fuels their power. Ooh.
Mm.
When you say what back, they say 44. You say 49. They say 5,500. Before you, and you know what? A blamer will never want to lose the battle.
That's it.
You can't
It's
win
a
them. Oh.
win or lose, and that's
Yes,
not
that is
what it should
no, no,
be.
no, thank you. That's what is it. But their own is always about winning. A blamer is all about winning, about control, about power. So you will not give them that power, that authority. So that is where I talk about they taking responsibility, working on themselves, and you as well. Don't let those words, those things, sometimes when they come, this is also, I want to talk about a little bit about boundaries as well. This is very
Mm.
powerful. When they start all this, they say, listen, I don't think we can actually resolve or talk about this right now. I told you I cannot take you using all these languages. I'm going to just step out for now and we can discuss this later. Oh, they get angry. Who do you think you are? No problem. There's consequence. Sorry, this is it. This is where I'm going to stop. Walk away. When they are ready to talk, then we cannot discuss it and filter
Mhm.
things in a place of peace, love, harmony, tranquility, calmness, not
Mm.
mad human beings and mad someone that cannot control themselves. No. So even the blamee need to even help the blamer. They are suffering. They are suffering, I'm telling you. Sometimes they
Oh
can't
dear.
even sleep. They can't even sleep properly. Sometimes they are having nightmares because they are just so restless in their emotions.
That's
So
that.
you need to
Yeah.
support them. So when
Mm.
you see someone that is blaming, don't think that they are all right. They are sick.
Hmm.
So they need help, right? So you also need to find a way to help them. That is why the blamee need to also accept from what I'm saying to know that the person blaming you, there's so much issues in their life. Remember, they have logs. You have speck. So why can't you pity somebody that have logs? So think about that.
The person with the logs has a lot of load.
Have a lot of load. So they
Oh
are they are
dear.
looking for they are looking for where to unpack the logs.
It's like, man, please don't bring your logs here.
You see what I mean? So now you have to help them to find a way to where to go and put the logs, not on you, right?
Mm.
So
Not
that
on
that
me.
is that is very, very important. So them taking responsibility of their logs, and obviously you supporting the blamer, and then the blaming filter, understand where you're coming from. Make sure that you don't just take whatever comes out of the blamer's mouth or how they act or behave to begin to, you know, rob you of your own internal peace, your own internal
Mm.
happiness, and also your own worthiness and the way you are, the way you're working on yourself. Don't let that happen. Then the second thing again, because talk about responsibility,
Yeah.
the other one is ownership. Yeah, ownership, right? Both of you need to own, like I said, your emotions. You don't own my emotions. It's your emotions, my emotions. You need to own your own happiness. Don't always think that, oh, your your happiness and the way you act, the way you behave, the way you do things, that's the only way the other person is gonna be happy and excited.
Mm.
See, I know we're here to support each other, help each other, but you need to make sure that your emotional state, your happiness is very paramount, because if you're not happy, you can't even give happiness in the first place. So you need to own that and try to protect it. Otherwise, the blamer will rob it of you
Mm.
completely. And when this thing happens several times, you'll be surprised. You that is bubbly, happy, excited, becoming moody, withdrawn, resented,
Mm.
always hiding. You can't even express yourself again. That is dangerous. You
Mm.
need to own your own personal power. Otherwise, it will be taken away from you. And then the
Mm.
last one is communicate. Communicate. Communication will help to, demystify some of those confusions, some of those issues. Like I gave an example about the children not doing well in school. Just cordial communication, speaking
Yeah.
about it, that will just heal a lot of problem that would have risen out of that place. But when you don't communicate from a place of empathy, love, compassion, from a place of understanding that you possibly have a lot of logs, okay,
Mm.
then you will have a lot of issue. But if you follow it this way, it will support both of you. And think about it. The marriage is a teamwork,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a partnership. One person is not better than the other. Both of you are equally empowered by God,
Yeah.
right? When God gave the instruction to replenish, dominate, plant, multiply, He gave the instruction to both of you. So you are co equal in power, co create together. That is what God is saying. But I know that emotionally we might be different. Okay, physically we might be different, but spiritually, from a place of co creation, we are the same. There's no difference.
Mm.
So understanding that dynamics will help both of you to resolve some of the issues and challenges that you're having. Because when blame persists or pester after a long time, that relationship is just eroded from love and
Yeah.
happiness and joy. And I don't think that is where God wants you guys to be. So take ownership, very important. Take responsibility and try to communicate in a more relaxed, open, honest way. Hopefully, your pegs and your logs will be resolved.
Oh, thank you so much, Chinda, Chinda, Chinda Square.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. I mean, that's you've actually really just wrapped it up and summed it up. So, darling, whose fault is it now? You know what to do
Mm.
with that so that blame does not sabotage your marriage or your relationship. And as with all things, if you're a single person, you can apply this.
Yep.
If you're married already, no matter how long you are, you can apply this because that's the beauty of this program is that every day you hear something and you apply. The marriage is for life, and anything that is for life means you have to constantly be learning. If you don't learn, then you become stale. So this is something new for us to all go and apply until we come back the next time. I really want to say thank you so much, Chinda.
Thank you.
I've
Thank you
really,
so
really
much.
enjoyed the session, and I'm sure that as many who are listening and watching are also going to be blessed by it. So, how can people connect with you, Chinda?
Anyway, yeah, they can connect with me on Instagram. Okay, so you have Married Life Management underscore. You can connect with me there. My website also marriedlifemanagement.com. On Facebook as well is Married Life Management. Um, as well. And then my name, Chindah Chindah. And then my website, there's a lot of things out there as well. There are books, there are programs, there are masterminds, which would be really, really good if they can just go there and, yeah, hit me and we can work together and hopefully support you in logs and pegs eradication.
I'm telling you, we need to,
Respect.
every one of us, I need to go deal with my own logs. You deal with your logs.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know,
Thank you. Mm.
Chindah is married to Chimzi, his wife, and they've been married for the past 12 years. And they've got two boys. He actually resides in the UK. So if you heard him talking about pounds, it wasn't just for the fun of it. He lives in the UK, so he speaks in pounds. So it's been an interesting one. Oh, so I'm sure that you'll be looking forward to the next one. And we will see you. Well, see you, and then you will hear us next time. So if you're listening via the podcast or you're watching via YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to both places. So you subscribe so you can get notifications once the programs come out, and you be the first to listen. Thank you so much for all our listeners all across the world. See your action. I see you pushing us on the charts. Really good. Thank you so much. God bless you all. And until next time, stay blessed and stay married. Thank you.